I suppose. What?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. Sorry I had something going on my stream there to start things off. It's showing the wrong thing. But we are kicking things off here tonight with the League of Outlaws IMCA style modified division race number 2 of the season. We're already looking at the starting lineup for the first heat race of the night. They did an open hosted session. Got about 30 drivers signed in to do battle here tonight. On the front row for heat race number 1 is going to be Tyler Bickford, and Matt Taylor. Row 2 is going to be Jet Yantis, and Bryce Dickinson. Row 3 is going to be Garrett Solomon and Calvin Crawley. As the drivers are working their way around here. Tim, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing absolutely fantastic tonight. Again, if you're tuning in for the first time on the Buckeye Racing Network, let us know who you're pulling for. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe buttons so you know each and every time we go live here on the channel. Tim, I know you got that cheat sheet handy. How many drivers are transferring to the feature from Heat 1?
Well, it shows 4, so we will see.
All
4
right.
will go to the feature over 8 laps apiece per heat. As Beckford leads them through 3 and 4, and he fires away. He gets a pretty good launch. The 4 looks to the inside, trying to take over that second place position of the from Matt Taylor.
Yeah, they were battling for second there for a minute. Going to battle once again. Matt Taylor, Jeff Yantis, 2 new names here that are signed in for racing here tonight. Third place belongs to, or excuse me, fourth would be Bryce Dickinson in the 84 and Garrett Solomon there in fifth. Calvin Crawley did not start this heat race. But our top 4, throw them underneath of a blanket. 3 wide for second out of 4 this time, Tim.
Yeah, a little bit of contact made with Jet Yantis, and I believe that was the 84 machine as he gives it right back to him. Bryce Dickinson takes over the third place position.
Yeah,
They're all single file.
up front, Tyler Bickford is series regular with the League of Outlaws, is starting to stretch his legs a little bit, about a half second between himself and second place runner Matt Taylor. Bryce Dickinson, as you said, he's hungry for more as he's been taking a peek underneath Matt Taylor for the second spot as we coming around half distance in Heat 1, 4 down, 4 to go. Almost 3 wide for second. I tell you what, Jeff Yanis making a little bit of the charge back on the inside here as he takes a peek underneath Bryce Dickinson. Almost gets tagged from behind from Garrett Sullivan. But they negated any catastrophe through 3 and 4 the last time and continue on. Matt Taylor trying to fend off the 3 drivers behind him. And as stated before, Tyler Bickford stretching his legs a little bit more, just about a second advantage over the other drivers.
Jet Yanis using a slider line in 1 and 2, and he'll diamond it up. He's going to diamond it off in 3 and 4 right here. He's going to dive right down to that bottom. Not so much that time, but it's working for him. He's going to slide up, take over that second position from Matt Taylor.
Absolutely. White flag already in the air. Out of turn 4 for the final time. Tyler Bickford's going to win Heat 1, and it's a battle for second. Matt Taylor holds on. Jeff Yanis will be third. Bryce Dickinson fourth. And Garrett Solomon spun coming out of turn number 4. He crosses the line to come home fifth. And, of course, Calvin Crawley credited with 6th there for Heat 1. So they took the top 4 from the first heat race. We're going to take the top 4 here from heat race number 2. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. On the front row, it's going to be James Murphy, series regular and points leader after last week. Ty Dickinson on his outside. Row number 2 is going to be Matt Fletchall and Jonathan Smith. Row 3 will be Landon McLeod and Josh Madsen. Looks like Landon McLeod not going to start heat number 2, so just 5 drivers gridded up. Ty Dickinson, James Murphy on the front row. And I believe James Murphy is about the only series regular in this second heat.
Yeah, I believe you're correct on that statement.
I know we've seen Ty Dickinson in other leagues and events elsewhere on the sim, but I think this is one of the first times he's running with the League of Outlaws here tonight. All right, here we go. Rolling through 3 and 4. James Murphy's in control. He steps on the loud pedal. Green flag is in the air. Kickoff heat race number 2. Matt Fletchall's going to dig down on the inside underneath of Ty Dickinson. Let's see if he's able to complete the pass here through 3 and 4. Oh, had to jump out of the throttle, I think, a bit to keep from making contact with James Murphy in front of him, but moved Matt Fletchall to second. Ty Dickinson back to third. Single file, though, 4 now. 4th goes to Jonathan Smith. 5th back to Josh Madsen. James Murphy down on the inside. Go ahead, Tim.
Ty Dickinson looking to take over that second position. Maybe a slight contact again.
Oh, my. Dickinson.
Straight up into the wall.
Yeah, up into the wall. That hurt Matt Fletchall as well, as they're now 4th and 5th. James Murphy now has almost a second and a half back to the second place machine of Jonathan Smith. Jonathan Smith in a good position for a transfer now, same as the 3 machine of Josh Madsen. Matt Fletchall's going to trail behind there in 4. Ty Dickinson in the pit area now. So just 4 cars remaining here at the halfway point of heat race number 2.
Pretty spread out. Just the key thing to watch. Watch that James Murphy machine. He's wrapping the bottom, keeping it extremely close to those tires on the inside.
Absolutely, he is one of the best in these cars. And he's just taking care of his equipment here in this heat race. 2 laps to go. Jonathan Smith is being caught ever so slightly by Josh Madsen. That's second and third on the racetrack. White flag in the air one more time around in heat 2. On the inside of 3 and 4, James Murphy crawls out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag here in heat 2. Jonathan Smith second, Josh Madsen third, and Matt Fletchall finishes fourth there. Ty Dickinson, Landon McLeod will be credited with 5th and 6th. Starting lineup for heat race number 3. On the front row is going to be Randall Maggard and Tony Lewis. Row number 2 is going to be Brandon Green and Mason Barnes. Row 3 will be Bladen Graham and Tucker Halliday. As we wait for everybody to grid up. Just a couple cars have gridded now. There's 3 total. Brandon Green, Bladen Graham, Tucker Halliday have decided to grid up.
And that's, I think we're going to start rolling here. Yep, only 3 gridded.
Well, that makes it easy for these 3 drivers, it looks like, Tim, as they will all transfer into the feature here tonight. Brandon Green and Tucker Halliday will start on the front row. And Bladen Graham will be the 3rd starter here in heat 3 with SpongeBob on his machine. I believe Bladen Graham blinked out there coming down the front straightaway, so I have to keep an eye on that. Pace truck peels off. Tim, how about you get us going here in heat 3?
All right, Brandon Green's going to roll down the backstretch as he's getting ready to fire off. The 16 wants to get a good launch. The 25 also, Bladen Graham gets a good launch. They're side by side for second. Side by side for first. Bladen Graham and Tucker. No, that's Brandon Green. They're still side by side.
Yeah, look at Bladen Graham. He moves to the lead from the 3rd starting spot. Tucker Halliday, Brandon Green are still battling side by side. There is now 2 laps in the book, 6 to go in this 3rd heat race. Looks like Graham's using the middle, Halliday down near the tires. Same, and Brandon Green in the middle of the racetrack as well. So their drivers trying out a couple different lines, seeing what's better for them. It's now just single file. Looks like Bladen Graham moves up to the top, kind of diamonds off the exit, drops it down low as we are at half distance here in heat 3. These drivers just kind of biding their time. And Tim, these might be all new because these setups are made to specifically model after the IMCA style. So there is a little bit of power reduction, and there's some added weight in these cars from the true UMP modifieds in the iRacing sim. So these are custom-made setups to mimic the IMCA style. So these drivers probably trying to adapt the best they can if they have never run this style of setup before. Bladen Graham takes the white flag.
This is an all-new setup. They did make tweaks to it as well, so it is a good time to join as most drivers should have to get used to it again.
Layden Graham brings up the checker flag here in Heat 3. Tucker Halliday will be second. Brandon Green third. And then fourth, fifth, and sixth will be Tony Lewis, Randall Maggard, Mason Barnes. Did not start. All right, heat race number 4 now onto the racetrack. Row number 1, Justin Johnson and Misty Nicase, maybe? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Please let me know if you're tuned in and watching. Row number 2, Stephen Pate and Jared Murphy. Row number 3 will be Dale Slides, if that's not a good name for dirt racing, and Joshua Kunzbeck. As it looks like only 3 starters again for heat race number 4, so all of these guys will make it into the feature in just a little while. Jared Murphy, series regular, starting now on the front row with Joshua Kunzbeck to his outside, and the third starter in the 762 will be Dale Slides. Tim, I bet you wish you had a last name that cool.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot better than Henderson.
I'm just kidding. But it's perfect for dirt racing, so.
It is. It's you couldn't get any better, I feel like.
No, I don't think we could. I don't think we could. And it's the first time ever seeing Dale Slides here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Through 3 and 4, Jared Murphy in control. He stomps on that loud pedal. Green flag in the air for heat 4. Jared knows these cars very well, knows these setups very well. He's going to try to just bide his time and show these guys how it's done. As Kunzbeck and Slides going to be side by side out of turn 4 to complete lap number 1. Still side by side, Dale Slides and Kunzbeck.
No clear advantage for running the bottom or top.
Really pretty even as the track's starting to take some rubber. Now Kunzbeck dives all the way down to the inside and Slides runs through the middle, and they're a dead heat across the line that time. And they're hanging right there close to series regular Jared Murphy, Tim.
Yeah, the track is starting to get real racy. You gotta think if one of them can edge the other one out, if they can finally take the attack towards Jared.
Absolutely, 3 wide. Look at Kunzbeck. He makes contact with Murphy, and it's 3 wide at the line. Just barely, but they were. Murphy's going to try to take the lead. He's going to get a little help from behind as Slides taps him in the bumper, and Murphy's like, I'm going to try to scoot away from this. As he was under fire there for a whole lap. Now just 2 to go. Slides trying to make the move to the inside of Kunzbeck. Nothing doing there. Jared Murphy moves all the way up to the outside. He takes the white flag. Kunzbeck all the way down near the tires. Murphy plays a little bit defensive through 3 and 4. And to the line, Jared Murphy wins heat 4. Joshua Kunzbeck second. Dale Slides comes across the line at third. Justin Johnson, Misty Nicase, and Stephen Pate, 4th, 5th, and 6th, did not start this 4th heat race. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for heat race number 5. On row number 1, it's going to be Justin Byram and Drew Walton. Row 2, Thomas Levister and A.J. Hunsinger, both series regulars. Row 3 will be Fox Watson and Brad Wilson.
Uh-oh.
I hear an uh-oh from Tim. You hear anything from race control?
No, I think I think my computer just stuttered for a slight second. as everyone started blinking.
All right, just 4 starters here in heat race number 5. Fox Watson and Brad Wilson not going to start. They may not be in the session. So Justin Byram, Drew Alton will be row 1, and then Thomas Levister, AJ Hunsinger, row 2. Again, Thomas Levister, AJ Hunsinger, series regulars. AJ Hunsinger, league owner here with the League of Outlaws. Pace truck peels off, heads into the pit area. And be careful, Justin. Don't go quite yet. Not ready for the green. Got to go out of turn 4. It looks like he did right the ship. He steps on the gas and a little squirrely on the front row. But we get the green flag there finally. Justin Byram kind of blocks off Drew Alton, and AJ Hunsinger is going to take a peek down to the inside here into turn 3. He's going to look to take the race lead. Hunsinger to the lead at the completion of lap 1. Thomas Levister is going to try to follow AJ through as he's all the way down near the tires. Justin Byram got a little bit high and almost tagged the outside wall. He was able to gather it back in, though, and is going to continue on. Battle rages on for second now. Drew Alton, Thomas Levister. Oh, yeah, my.
That's one thing you got to worry about at this track is that high side. You get too far, it is inverted banking.
Absolutely. We've seen it here, bike drivers, time and time again. And if you get up too high, it throws everything all off for the driver. Like you said, inverted banking and starts going away. Tell you what, Drew Alton's kind of really driving the car in really hard, lets it slide up the hill. He can get right to AJ Hunsinger's bumper when he does that. Oh my goodness, on my end it almost looks like they made contact, but they didn't. AJ Hunsinger still leading the way. We're coming to 3 laps to go. All single file. Levister here in position number 3 for now. Out of turn number 4, AJ Hunsinger is going to take the white flag. Just one more time here for Heat 5. Drew Alton's held tough there in the 2nd spot. Thomas Levister in 3rd, Justin Byram 4th. Hunsinger going to be down near those tractor tires. Is going to take the checkered flag in Heat 5. Drew Alton, Thomas Levister, Justin Byram, Brad Wilson, Fox Watson. Did not start heat race 5. All right, I'm assuming this is going to be the B main, Tim?
This is the Constellation. We are taking 4 from this, and they will go to the feature.
All right, 4 from this Constellation, B main to tonight's feature. Starting lineup is this here. Now, some of these drivers aren't here, but we'll look at it. So, Garrett Solomon, Ty Dickinson, Tony Lewis, Misty Nicase, Fox Watson, Calvin Crawley, Landon McLeod, Mason Barnes, Stephen Pate, and Brad Wilson. As it looks like we only have 2 cars starting this Constellation race, which, if that's the case, those 2 will transfer into the A main, no problem.
Yes.
Again, the League of Outlaws trying something a little bit different here tonight with running this in an open hosted session. They wanted to try to get the car count up a little bit, maybe do a little bit of recruiting to try to get some other fellas interested in the series to join in, because they got a lot of races coming up. This is only their 2nd race of this season. So green flag is in the air for Solomon here as he's going to drive down into turn 1. Ty Dickinson follows him there in 2nd. They're the only 2 cars in RB main.
Drivers can use this as a little bit of extra practice. I think these 2 will also be ones to watch during the feature, as they have the most recent experience of how the track feels.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, these drivers aren't real familiar with these setups if they don't run each and every week with the League of Outlaws. So any track time is needed for these guys. Bless number 58. This is not open setup. It is a custom fixed setup that everybody uses to mimic the IMCA style division in real life. And some notes about it is they have added weight and reduced power from the iRacing UMP modified, and I don't know the other fine details, but those are 2 of the big things. Can you think of anything else, Tim?
I think those mimic the hard tire and lower horsepower that the IMCA style brings.
And if anybody that is watching here tonight needs any information for the series, please let us know. We'll get you in contact with the admins here with the League of Outlaws.
You can also go to LoO racing.com for more information.
Absolutely, that's a good website. They got all of the series info on their website. So if you'd like to be a part of it, just head over there and check it out. Already 2 laps to go. Garrett Solomon's led the entire way so far. Ty Dickinson about a second behind him now as Solomon up on the cushion. White flag, 1 more lap around here in the B main. And 2, 3, and 4, Landon Solomon drives down to the inside. He led the whole way here in the B main. He's going to take the checkered flag. Second place goes to Ty Dickinson. Again, these 2 guys will race in the feature here. Again, they got a couple extra practice laps there running that B main. All right, 5 minutes on the clock for warm-up, and they might be negating the warm-up session here tonight, as it looks like they are. And they are going to roll right into the feature event here tonight. On the front row for our main event, Tyler Bickford, James Murphy. Those are series regulars. Row number 2 will be Bladen Graham and Jared Murphy. Row 3, AJ Hunsinger and Matt Taylor. Row 4, Jonathan Smith and Tucker Halliday. Row 5, Joshua Kuhnspec and Drew Walton. Row 6, Jeff Yantis and Josh Madsen. Row number 7 will be Brandon Green and Dale Slides. Row 8, Thomas Levisser and Bryce Dickinson. Row 9 will be Matt Fletchall and Randall Maggard. Row 10, Justin Johnson and Justin Byram. Row 11 will be Garrett Solomon and Ty Dickinson. And I know Tony Lewis and Misty Nicase not here, so it looks like we'll have about, well, I think even less starters than 22, as I'm seeing 17 lined up on the starting grid here. So 17 cars will start tonight's 25-lap main event. Cars not making the call for our feature will be Tony Lewis, Brandon Green, Dale Slides, Randall Maggard, Justin Johnson, Tucker Halliday, and Misty Nicase. Pace truck peels off. Tyler Bickford, James Murphy ready to do battle here tonight. Series regulars AJ Hunsinger, Jared Murphy, row 2. Green flag is in the air. We're ready to rock and roll for 25 laps around the Lucas Oil Speedway. As not quite a lap in, and we already have a yellow flag displayed here tonight. Let's see exactly what happened here on the first lap. Take a look back here a little further in the field. Keep an eye on the 26 car. That's Matt Fletchall. Oh, looks like a couple cars got together up in front of him. The 4 went sideways. Thomas Levister makes contact with him. Fletchall makes contact with Levister. There's the 1 machine of Solomon. Makes some contact. Uh-oh, there comes the 25. He was blinking out, but he did make contact with the 26 there. So it looks like 4, almost 5 cars with damage here to start our feature event. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight here, especially if it's your first time viewing the Buckeye Racing Network. We certainly appreciate it. Pace truck peeling off. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag action here. It looks like Thomas Levister is going to be heading out of the pit area, and Bladen Graham looks like he may have had some connection issues as he is no longer with us. So 16 cars remain on the racetrack. Bickford steps on the gas. We are back to green flag racing. Bickford's going to take the lead from James Murphy through 1 and 2. Murphy's going to follow him. AJ Hunsinger on the inside of the racetrack in third. Takes a peek to the inside of James Murphy. And back behind those two, you have Jared Murphy and Joshua Koonspeck. Koonspeck all the way down as low as he can get that race car. Trying to follow AJ Hunsinger through and maybe take a peek underneath of him. Look at James Murphy, Tim. He's going to take a peek to the inside of Tyler Bickford down into turn 3 this time. Oh!
I don't know if he hopped the tire or if there was just contact and it shot him up over, not really up and over, but that is Joshua in the 29, is going to settle in around P7.
Yeah, I think he actually made contact, Tim, with the back of AJ Hunsinger's machine. That's what actually popped the car up and maybe the tire a little bit. So good save for Joshua Koonspeck and everybody else avoiding him. All the meanwhile, James Murphy, he is looking underneath Tyler Bickford as they were a dead heat at the start-finish line with 19 laps to go in this one.
We were just 4 wide for 13th, coming out of 4th last lap. We're
Oh my, yeah, they are.
fighting.
You aren't kidding, they are battling back here deeper in the pack. This is 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Just in front of them, you have Ty Dickinson, Josh Madsen side by side right there in the top 10 as well. Let's check on the battle up front as James Murphy still using that inside line, trying to take any advantage he can from that 07 machine. Jared Murphy, series regular in the number 1 right there behind. I tell you, James Murphy has got the inside rolling, Tim, as he always does week in and week out. And he might take the race lead and is going to lead at the line.
I think that just the outside, if Bickford just rolls around the middle, I think he keeps up enough momentum and doesn't allow for a great run out, but he washed up. I think in 3 and 4 allowed James to clear, and James is definitely clear now as Bigford fires back.
Absolutely, James clear, and I know we got some battles going on a little further in the pack. Joshua Koonspec is in a heated battle with Bryce
AJ.
Dickinson and Drew Alton. As they're now 3 wide, and AJ, oh my goodness, they're 4 wide into turn number 3. I don't know how they saved it. The 40 has a broken right front, and he goes right in the outside wall and collects 2 or 3 more cars. Oh my goodness, what happened to Drew Alton there? We're going to have to go back and take a look at exactly what unfolded.
You're going to have to go back all the way through 1 and 2 watching AJ. AJ, just a giant stack up for your 4 leaders.
So look, here's AJ Hunsinger. He's the white and green 33 machine. You see him taking a peek underneath the 1. That's Jared Murphy. And those cars get tangled up together. AJ's car pops way up in the air, and he has to save it. And he does get the ship righted, but he's a little slow. And then the battle that we were watching live, they were 3 wide, and they tried to split AJ going into turn 3, making it 4 wide, and Alton makes contact with Hunsinger, and I think the right front got broke on Alton's machine. He's in that black and green 40, and you see Alton just goes right up towards the outside wall. And he makes heavy contact with the outside wall there, and here comes Solomon, already committed in his line, could not do anything there to avoid him, so 2-3 cars with damage after this one. Absolute craziness here so far, and we are just at the halfway point in this one. James Murphy is the new leader, Tyler Bickford second, Jared Murphy is third. Then AJ Hunsinger still going to be credited with 4th. Bryce Dickinson and Jet Yanis 5th and 6th. As the pace truck is going to peel off. Here, and they're going to double file up. James Murphy steps on the gas. We are going back to green flag racing as we just passed the halfway point here in this one. Uh-oh, Jared Murphy is a little slow. Jet Yanis makes contact with him, and it stacks a whole bunch of them up through 1 and 2. But everybody's able to continue going without too much of an issue. AJ Hunsinger up over the cushion, loses a ton of momentum and loses some spots as he's now 3 wide with the likes of, I think that's Ty Dickinson there. He's going to slide by.
Yeah, that's a tough break for AJ.
Yeah, absolutely. Just missed the entry to turn 3, and he has fallen back into the 8th spot. Battle starting to brew here for second. Tyler Bickford and Jared Murphy, and Jet Yanis following closely behind those two. As we had a pass for the 7th spot here, AJ Hunsinger, Ty Dickinson still side by side, and they're trying to close in on that 84 machine of Bryce Dickinson right in front of them. 3 wide right behind them is Thomas Levister, Justin Byram, and Jonathan Smith, all right there battling in for that 10th spot. Quick peek back up into the race lead as Murphy has James, let me get the right one, with about a half a second advantage over the 07 there of Tyler Bickford. His brother Jared Murphy in 3rd, and a Jet Yanis following closely behind there in 4th. Matt Taylor starting to come under fire from Bryce Dickinson there in the 84 machine as he works the inside and Matt Taylor uses the outside. Already under 5 laps to go, Tim. This one's gone by in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, just they're picking them up and putting them down. That's all I can say. They're blazing through these laps.
Yes, they are. Second place battle is really brewing here. Tyler Bickford trying to hold off the likes of Jared Murphy and Jet Yantis. Back behind them, Matt Taylor, Bryce Dickinson, AJ Hunsinger. All closely together, battling 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Back up front, James Murphy works off the bottom and takes the white flag. Jared Murphy now underneath Tyler Bickford for the second spot. Less than a lap to go. Who is going to take over second? Keep an eye on this battle. James Murphy is just in front of him. You see him there on the inside. Bickford up high. Jared Murphy down low. James Murphy's going to win tonight. And I think it's Tyler Bickford was able to just edge out Jared Murphy for the second spot. Jared Murphy rounds out the podium. We will talk to our top 3 in just a few moments. Here, let's take a look at the final results, though, before we do. Final results here tonight. We talked about our top 3. 4th is going to go to Jet Yannis. 5th to Matt Taylor. 6th is going to go to Bryce Dickinson. 7th to Ty Dickinson. 8th goes to AJ Hunsinger. 9th to Justin Byram. 10th to Thomas Levester. 11th is going to go to Jonathan Smith. Matt Fletchall, 12th. Joshua Kuntzbeck, 13th. Josh Madsen, 14th. Garrett Solomon, 15th. Drew Walton, 16th. Bladen Graham, 17th. And Tucker Halliday is going to round out the top 18 here tonight. Before we get to interview our top 3, we're going to step away and get a quick word from our sponsor over at Premier Racing Setups. All right, everybody, welcome back in here again. Use code Buckeye15 on Premier Racing Setups website for 15% off of an individual setup pack. Try Premier Racing Setups today. All right, let's kick things off in our interview here tonight with our 3rd place finisher, Jared Murphy. Hey, Jared, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man, a great run for you here tonight. Ran right there in the top 3. Had a great battle at the end with Tyler Bickford, and Bickford just beat you at the line. Tell us about your run here tonight and what you needed to get up there and challenge your brother.
Track position, more laps, but I had a really fun night tonight. I didn't get a great draw in my heat race. Kind of had to start 4th there in the main, but I held my own, drove to the end, and almost got second there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely a fantastic run for you here tonight. Tim, do you have anything to ask Jared?
Yeah, coming up just under 300 short. You think you could have done something in the closing laps to seal the deal and get by Bickford?
I thought I ran the right line for the situation. I thought I beat him the last couple laps. That last lap, I just slid the tires just a little too much getting into 3, and that's all it took.
Absolutely. Great battling, though, between you and Bickford here tonight. Jared, before we let you go tonight, anybody you need to thank?
I'd like to thank you all for the awesome broadcast, League of Outlaws for all they do, AJ Hunsinger for the rap, and Talking Dirt.
All right, Jared, again, thanks for getting a word in here with us tonight. We'll let you celebrate your 3rd place finish.
Thank y'all.
That was Jared Murphy, our 3rd place finisher. Now we're going to talk to our 2nd place finisher here tonight. Hey, Tyler, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, good night for you here tonight. Great heat race. Started up front here in the feature. Led some laps. Battled with James Murphy, and he kind of got out there and had to battle Jared to hold on for the second spot here in tonight's feature. Tell us about it and what you maybe needed out of the car to try to continue battling James for the victory.
Um, I needed to figure out something on that bottom. I couldn't make it work, so car was just sliding on me. So I just said I'm gonna go to the top and see what happens there. I seemed to be getting decent runs, but I didn't have nothing for James.
Yeah, James seemed like he had the bottom dialed in as usual, but still a great run for you here tonight and a good points night for you. Tim, do you have anything to ask Tyler?
Yeah, Tyler, what's the trick about running up so high? You run too high, you get bit. Can you walk us through that?
Yeah, it's just all about hitting your marks and throttle control up there, especially in these things. They're so heavy and underpowered that you can give it too much throttle too easily up there. So it's all about throttle control and just hitting your marks, lap in, lap out.
Absolutely. Tyler, before we let you go, anybody you need to thank tonight?
I gotta thank you guys for broadcasting, the League Outlaws for putting it on, James and Jared for giving me a good race, and East Coast Sim Sports for having me on the team.
All right, Tyler. Well, we certainly appreciate you talking to us here tonight. We'll let you celebrate your second place finish.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. Again, that was second place finisher Tyler Bickford. Now we're going to talk to our race winner here tonight. Hey, James, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Another great night for you here in race number 2 of this brand new season. Tell us how you were able to fend off everybody and how you're so smooth running down there near those tractor tires.
I got lucky there. I got a decent draw, finished second, and started outside pole, and kind of found the bottom in hot laps, and I didn't want to show it to everybody, so I was kind of holding off and running it. And I ran it some of my heat race, and then in the main, I couldn't seem to get a run on the top, so I finally got clear, and I decided to try the bottom. It's a fine line down there by them tires, but it's fast.
Absolutely. You showed us that here tonight. Tim, do you have anything to ask James?
Yeah, how difficult is it to run down there? You said it was a fine line. You take one wrong, I guess a little more momentum in it, and you're gonna hit those tires.
Yeah, if you spin out a little too much or just don't go in fast enough, you definitely hit it. It's harder to run the bottom than it is the top at most tracks, and you get down there and just one nick of the tire and it just kill your whole race. But I was able to be lucky, and I don't think I touched them, so I was able to hold on for the win.
Absolutely. James, how are you going to be able to continue this momentum on to race 3?
I don't know. You'll keep being lucky, I hope. And the race good, and I mean everybody out there could have won the race. I believe the top 5 at least. A bunch of good drivers, and as long as they can keep putting it on the front row and main, should have a chance of winning the race.
Absolutely. James, before we let you go tonight, anybody you need to thank?
Thank y'all for the broadcast. Everybody with the League of Outlaws, AJ Hunsinger with the rap and Talking Dirt.
All right, James, again, big congrats on the victory here tonight. We'll let you celebrate it.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all.
All right, that's going to conclude our interviews here tonight. And we'll start to wrap things up here from the Lucas Oil Speedway. Tim, any closing thoughts from you?
Just a fantastic race by these guys. Just awesome racing. That's all about I can say.
Absolutely. Again, I'd say a great night for the League of Outlaws. They had an open hosted session here tonight. Got quite a few drivers to sign up to race. Hopefully they can retain some of those in the weeks going forward. I know they've been trying to recruit here as in the recent weeks. A great race number 2 for this season for the League of Outlaws. Upcoming for us here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Tomorrow night we'll be live with the Regal Promotions Esports 360 Sprint Harvest Cup. I believe we're rolling into week 3 of that season now. We're going to be live at the Oswego Speedway at 8 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow, so come on out and be a part of that one with us. And then, of course, after that, we'll be back next week on Sunday night with race the next race in the League of Outlaws season. Again, we'll be live with that at 9 o'clock Eastern here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night, everybody.